Hi, I'm Kate. This is my fourth video blog about writing. I previously outlined the 3-act structure and how to start your first chapter. I want to go into a bit more detail about that. Within the 3-act structure is the 7 elements of the story, and I hope you won't mind me referring to my notes, but I do get a bit lost, so bear with me. So within the 3-act structure are these 7 elements. The first one is the inciting incident. Obviously I mentioned about your hook, which launches your story, but here we have the actual incident, which is the event that kicks off your story and challenges your character's ordinary life, after which things are never the same. Now this is 10% into your story. The second point is the first act structure. This is the point the first act ends and the second begins. Your character knows what he or she must do and the goal starts. And this takes action. This marks the beginning of the journey, always emotion, physical and possibly spiritual depending on what your story is about. And this is 25% into the story. Then you've got point 3, which is the midpoint. There's no going back basically. The decisions that your character's made are then committing to the story, and you as a writer are committing to the story for your reader. Any unsuspected elements that you want to introduce, this is the point that they are revealed, and we are 50% into the story. Then we've got point 4, which is the low point. Hope has gone and your goal seems unachievable. I always think of this as standing the protagonist at the edge of a cliff and lobbing stones at them, which sounds really harsh, but you really want this to be a low point so that you can follow the struggle of your character and will them on as a reader. And this is between 50% and 70% of your story. Point 5 is the second act turn. Your protagonist finds a plan and a new direction to achieve the goal, and this is 75% into your story. So the next one is 6, which is climax. This is maximum conflict between your character and the obstacle. Usually you've got your antagonist or your villain that's introduced, and this is all part of the whole conflict and obstacle. So your antagonist and villain would be a huge part of that. The story has been building up until this point, and it's make or break, succeed or fail. This happens the last 25% of your story. And then I've got, and I hope I say this correctly, the denouement, which is the end, the wrapping up of things, tying up of loose ends. It's not good to leave your reader with questions. You really want to aim for them to be satisfied, so avoid leaving unanswered questions. And this effectively is the "and they lived happily ever after." So that's kind of an outline of those 7 elements. I would suggest something which I do, and that's to look at your favourite stories, books and films, and look for these elements. Look for this, the beginning, the middle and the end, the 3-act structure, and look for these 7 aspects, and it will help you to grasp how a story is worked out, and so you will then be able to put that into your own work. The other thing I was thinking about is something called a log line. And this is a 10-second summary, which if you are stuck in a lift with that all-important agent, you want to be able to say this. It should cover, in this 10 seconds, who it's about, what their goal is, and the obstacle in their way. This is something that I think is really helpful to do before you complete your novel, before you start writing it. You can condense the whole concept down into this small summary. It really embeds the whole idea of it in your brain, and it really helps you to keep to your direction. And also, you don't know who you're going to meet. If you can just reel this off as soon as you need to, that's definitely a really positive thing. So I hope that's helped, and I will see you next week. Bye.